Jaime from Inky&Scrappy, sharing with you today my Get Creeping on Halloween, March 2023 Ghouls Just Wanna Have Fun card. So I started the Get Creeping on Halloween back end of October of 2022. I adore Halloween and all that it is, and I never feel I get all of my Halloween creations done and or ideas out in, from August through October 31st. So why not do it all year long? It is really, for me, where I find most of my creative energy. I just, have fun with it. I don't worry so much about, I don't know, what's right and what's not right. I just want to play, and this is me playing. So feel free to join me for the Get Creeping on Halloween hashtag here on YouTube, on Instagram as well. I would love to follow along. So either you can tag me at Inky&Scrappy so I can check out, I can go creep on your creep too. And we just play with Halloween stuff all year long. It's awesome. So please feel free to join me and watch the hashtag Get Creeping on Halloween. Others play, and I would love to see you all follow them as well. So I pulled in a bunch of stamp sets for this one. I also pulled in the Inside Out Stitched Strawberry die. I used the Booyah stamp set. Let me see if I have it all written down because, So Booyah, Absolutely Awesome, the So Smooth stamp set, Purrfectly Wicked stamp set, the Inside Out Stitched Strawberries dies, the Build a House Halloween add-ons. I used moon masks, some other stuff. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then my Ohuhu markers. I did not write down my marker blends for this one. I ended up using some of my old blends, and I just kind of pulled them from that. I will have a slowdown of my inks used if you are curious. I really was just having a good time. Sometimes it's nice not to sit down and have to do a color map or figure out colors and keep them up. So if you are interested in color combos, I did pull from past color combos, which are all on my blog on a specific page for Ohuhu marker blends. I pulled from my old set and my new set. I am working on the document that converts all of my new ones to my old ones if I have, because I think my original 200 set. So I use my 320 set a lot for my bullet nibs. If I have a coordinating for anything else that I purchased, I have that in the doc. I'm working on it. I lost it all when my old computer kind of croaked. It deleted all of that file. So I have 6 pages of data to enter, and I just haven't found time right now. I'm working on it. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I'll get that up. Fieldwork's going to start. Well, okay, we have like 5 feet of snow. I'm just kidding, not quite 5 feet of snow, but we have quite a bit of snow yet. So fieldwork probably isn't going to start for a little while yet. But as the season gets started, I will be here probably less than I have been the last 2 months. I can't say I was great this winter at keeping up on all of the things. Life happened, and it is what it is. So I did come in with the colorless blender. I like the Ohuhu colorless blender better than the Copic colorless blender. It gives a smoother, it pushes it back better without getting it grainy. I don't know if that makes sense. If you know, you know. There are the colors that I used. I did bring in some of my Copics. I need to use them a little bit more before they dry up and, die on me. So I'm going to set all of that aside, and I'm going to work on my background. So for my background, I'm going to do some ink blending. I am using Avery removable label sheets for my masking paper. It is the cheapest masking paper that I can find. I buy it on Amazon. I think I have a whole bunch because I have it on subscribe and save, and so I need to cancel my subscribe and save because I have a bunch. But it works beautifully. It also works on the inside of your card if you want to write a sentiment, but then let them reuse the card. Jennifer McGuire did that. I thought it was a cool idea. Have I done it yet? No, because that would require me to like think ahead, stamp a coordinated sentiment. Yeah. I did come in with plain distress ink in Villainous Potion first. It's darker than the Villainous Potion Distress Oxide, and I just wanted, I don't know, I was plain. So I could have probably lived without it, but I do like the deeper tone that some of the distress inks give. Do I own all of the distress inks? No. I mean, you know, I usually have full set envy, so maybe someday, but I'm trying to use what I have on the ink front and not buy new inks. So I used black soot on the outside, and then I was going to just do some light black soot on my moon mask. And when I sprayed my panel, I must have picked up some of the water onto that, and it reactivated it. As you can see, it was really dark. And so I was like, ugh. And so I did come in with some water and try to like scoop that up. I did actually ink blend on Distress Heavy Stock this time. I don't always use the correct paper, but when I do, it works well. And then for my bottom piece, you saw me remove the mask. I did not wait for anything. It was all wet. I just removed it. That's the only thing with the Avery removable adhesive sheets, that it has to be dry or the adhesive kind of sticks to your paper. It comes off once it's dry, but just note that if it's not dry, it might stick like that. It'll come off. You just have to, you know, be careful with it. And so this was, I'm going to slow this down because this is like, So I found this on Amazon. It's holographic, kind of like a sticker that goes over your sheet, but they're not a full-size piece of paper. It's like 11, it's like 8¼ inches wide by, I don't know if they're like 12, I don't know. It's like a weird size. But they were super cheap. I think I got 36 of them for like $12. They're amazing to put over your background. Look at that. Is that not the coolest thing ever? And I cut that one smaller than an A2 size panel because I was planning on die cutting this out. So that was kind of why I did it. So then I have my other one is sized for an A2 panel. And so that way I get one A2 panel out of, well, I actually get two. I think I get almost two A2. I think I get two A2 size panels out of a sheet, and then two that are like not quite A2 size, like width-wise. I think height-wise, I don't remember. I will post a link for those sheets in the description box below, because is that not the coolest thing ever? Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. Anyways, back to building my scene. So I took that inside out stitched strawberry die. If you've been watching lately, I've been using that stitched strawberry die for everything but strawberries. I had ideas when I bought it, and these were the ideas I'm finally getting to with it. So I wanted to make a candy corn with it. I just thought it would be adorably cute. I'm using a whole bunch of Ghost Town papers from Doodlebug Design, and then that yellow was just a random sheet of some Christmas paper. I think it's Bella Boulevard, maybe Santa Town or Santa something. I don't know. I just liked the stars and the shade of yellow for my candy corn. I am bringing in that Halloween add-on for the Build-A-House, so I gave my candy corn a roof and a crooked little chimney. And of course, this is me, so I lost my door that I had already cut out. I'm looking for it. Please tell me I'm not the only one that loses everything that I just had. Yeah. So I did cut a piece of gray to go behind my door because I kind of wanted it to pop it open. I was kind of thinking of putting one of my little ghouls to pop out of my door. And then I changed my mind, but you know, it is what it is. So I will add that onto my card base here. I'm going to add it with some liquid adhesive, and then I'll hold it down because it doesn't adhere, like it doesn't want to stick right away because it is that stickering sheet. So once it's dry, it's on there, it's good. And the best part about these little ghouls is it's like playing paper dolls. Like when you know, I was little again. So for all of my little ghouly girls here, I wanted to add the faces after I was all done because I didn't want to have them too high or too low. And so I'm just going back in and fussy cutting the few things that I like fussy cut out. I'm particular. Sometimes I don't fussy cut it. Sometimes I do. It just depends on how it lays on my image. So we have the little witch there has her broom and then her witch's brew for her beverage of choice. And then for the bride of Frankenstein, she's, got her hair all done up extra pretty for their ghouls night out. And of course, she's drinking a bubbly tropical elixir. And then for my pirate, what else is a pirate going to drink but some rum, right? So I did use that cider jug as my rum jug because, the pirate does not need a mix. It's just straight up rum. So for my little Bride of Frankenstein, I just selectively inked that stamp so I didn't stamp her other eye because I figured it was going to be behind her drink. And then I switched out and gave each of them their own little expression. And then I'm going to come in and fussy cut that eye patch for my ghost. I could have directly stamped it on the ghost, but I didn't really want to risk it. And I like that extra layered look, being everything else had that layer to it. I'm just working on placement, kind of figuring out where I want it. Now, the rest of the ladies were all dolled up, so I felt that the little pirate needed to be all dolled up. So I'm bringing in some new to me jelly roll pens. I think they're called the Mermaid Mix or Deep Sea Mix or something, but they're kind of sparkly and shiny. And there's 3 different teal aqua shades in there. And so, I had to try them out. They're cute. And of course, you can't have a haunted ghoul house without some spider web. So I did bring in some of that spider web add-on. And then I decided to pop my door open. So these 3 ladies are popping out of their little gin joint. And I'm going to pop up the middle one on extra foam adhesive. So this one is 2 layers of foam. I wanted to give her some extra pop or dimension. And then the second one here is popped up on 1 layer because that door is also popped up on a layer. And then for my last little one, she is the last one out of the bar. And so she's furthest back. Now for my little sign, because I wanted to put a sign on my candy cane bar here, or C Holtz, it's the ghost gin joint in town. Yeah, it took me a couple of minutes to figure out what I wanted to write on it. I'm quick, but I'm not that quick. And then of course I put rum on the rum jug as well. So I'm just going to add that in to my scene there, and then trying to figure out placement for my ghouls night out sentiment. So I was hemming and hawing back and forth between the flagged end signs, and then I decided, I just liked it straight up. So I decided to do a template. Now, my template here is on one of those. Jennifer McGuire had posted about it a long time ago, but she buys the super cheap, like, Cricut mats and then cuts them apart. And so that's what I did. I cut it apart. I cut it to size for in my mini Misty. And then I cut a template out of 120 pound, I think accent opaque, to fit on top of it. And so it stays on top of it. And then this way, like some of the most used size is for my sentiments, just pop in, and it just makes it so much easier in the long run. I do this for my classes that I teach locally, and so I'm like, why not do it so I have it all the time, like for my use because it's so awesome to use for the ladies on my card night. So you know, it's hopefully will save me some time, and it helps to line up those sentiments because I know exactly where they're at, and it's already sticky, so I don't have to worry about trying to like get the magnet to stick in there. It works well. So there is my finished card. Oh wait, no, because I need some glossy accents because we have glass bottles, right? Yeah. So I'm going to come in and add some glossy accents to my witch's brew and my, you know, tropical elixir, and of course my rum bottle. And then, you know, they look like they're all dolled up, so they need a little bit of glitter. So I gave them all just a teeny tiny little bit of glitter using my reverse tweezers to sprinkle on their beverages. I was debating not putting any on the pirates, but she was feeling left out, so she got a little bit. And there is my finished create for the Get Creeping on Halloween hashtag. Make sure to follow Get Creeping on Halloween hashtag here on Instagram and give everyone that participates a little bit of love. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. Keep getting inky. Bye!